Deep in the heart of a lush jungle, nestled between the roots of a giant tree, lived a tiny rabbit. His burrow was a cozy den filled with soft moss and dried leaves, and it was here that he spent most of his days playing with his friends. There was Rosie the squirrel, Sammy the sloth, and Ollie the toucan. They were the best of friends, and their days were filled with games and laughter. One day, as our little rabbit was hopping around, he heard a frantic squeaking. It was coming from above. Peeking out from behind a leafy branch, he saw a baby bird trapped in a hunter's net. The poor little thing was struggling to free itself, its tiny heart beating fast with fear. Now, you see, this hunter had set up this trap to catch some squirrels for his pet ferret. But instead, he had caught this baby bird who had flown a little too close to the tree. The rabbit wanted to help the bird, but the net was high up on the tree and he couldn't reach it. Just then, Rosie the squirrel appeared. "Can you help, Rosie?" asked the rabbit. But Rosie just shook her head, her eyes wide with fear. "That net is dangerous," she said. "We can't help the little bird. Let's go, Sammy." And with that, they both ran off. The rabbit watched them go, his heart sinking. He knew he had to do something, but what could one small rabbit do against a hunter's net? As he looked at the trapped bird, he saw a glimmer of hope. A strong gust of wind had come, and the net was now loose on the tree. With a deep breath, the rabbit gathered all his courage and began to plan his attack. He would distract the bird by making it think he was going to help, and then when it least expected it, he would pounce and free it from the net. Taking a big, deep breath, he began to creep towards the tree, keeping low to the ground so the bird wouldn't see him. Then slowly, very slowly, he began to climb. Meanwhile, up in the net, the little bird was scared and alone. It had been struggling for a long time and was getting tired. It felt the net tighten around its wings, and a single tear rolled down its cheek. Suddenly, it saw the rabbit below and chirped as loud as it could, hoping for help. The rabbit understood. The bird wanted him to pull on the net. So as the bird started to peck at the net, the rabbit pulled with all his might. With each pull, the net loosened a bit more. The rabbit could feel the tension in the net and knew that soon he would be able to free the bird. But then something unexpected happened. The bird panicked and stopped pecking at the net. The rabbit kept pulling, but the net didn't loosen. He tried again and again, but it was no use. The bird was too scared. Then the rabbit had a clever idea. He pretended to climb down the tree, hoping to distract the bird so it would start pecking again. It worked. The bird began to peck at the net as the rabbit slowly climbed back up. This time, instead of pulling, the rabbit pushed the net with his paws. He pushed and pushed until finally, with a loud rip, the net broke free from the tree. The little bird tumbled out of the net and onto the ground below. At first it was stunned, but then it began to flap its wings and chirp happily. It hopped around the rabbit, chirping excitedly, as if to say, "Thank you." The other animals gathered around, their faces filled with awe. They couldn't believe that the small rabbit had freed the bird. Rosie and Sammy were there too, and they apologized for running away. The rabbit just smiled and said it was all right. He was happy to have helped the bird. From that day on, the rabbit was no longer the timid little guy. He was a hero, and whenever the animals played, they never forgot the day the rabbit showed them that even the smallest among them could be the bravest. As the sun set over the jungle that evening, the little bird flew back to its nest, its heart filled with gratitude for the brave rabbit who had saved its life.